Hey everybody, it's Christina, and today I'm just going to do a regular plain old video for you. I've had a lot of people ask since I started doing Stampin' Up! If I would still continue to do videos on other products, and on occasion I will do them. However, I will not be posting them over my blog. So if you're just a follower of my blog and depend on my blog to see my YouTube videos, you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I won't be creating any supply lists for these videos unless I'm using Stampin' Up! Products. So on occasion, like I said, I will still keep doing video here and there on other products. But like I said, I won't be posting them on my blog, and I won't be creating supply lists unless they're Stampin' Up! Products. So that is all. So let's go ahead and get started with our card. I'm going to be using my Big Shot, and I thought I would get all of my die cutting out of the way. I'm going to start off with my platform, and I have all of my tabs down. Then I have my acrylic plate. Then I have two pieces of cardstock or pattern paper, and I'm going to put those on here along with these border dies. And the paper comes from an October Afternoon 9 to 5, and the border dies are from Paper Tray Ink. And we're just going to make sure that's on there right. And we're going to go ahead and run this through our Big Shot. I'm going to also, still using all of my same plates, I'm going to do another die. This is from Paper Tray Ink as well, and it's called the Boy Basics Out of This World die, and I'm also using the stamp set to go with it. So I'm going to die cut this. Okay, I have my pieces cut out, so I'm going to set those aside and I'm going to start doing my stamping. So for my stamping, I am going to first stamp my little rocket onto my cutout piece. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that onto my acrylic block, and then I'll do some black ink. There we go, that's better. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take some pattern paper, also from that same collection, and I am going to do some stamping. So I have this piece of scrap here, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, before I do my stamping, I'm going to take this decorative label punch and punch out this piece that I need here. Alright, so this way I know how much space I need. And then I'm going to take the tail to my rocket, the little burst there. Whoops. So we have that piece. And then I'm going to take my rocket and I'm going to stamp this out in a couple of different pieces of pattern paper. I'm going to do this blue polka dot. The other piece that I used for my border piece. And I am going to, I want to do this in some of the red places. So the center of my rocket I want to have mostly red. So I'm going to stamp that out. And then I also want the bottom half of my rocket done in that red too. So I'm going to stamp that. Let's see. Onto that piece there. Okay, and then my last pattern piece I'm going to use is this star one, and that I'm going to use for the body of my rocket. Alright, so now that I have those all stamped, I'm going to take my sentiment, which is the You're Out of This World, and I'm going to put that onto an acrylic block. I'll take my border, or my label that I punched out from the decorative label punch, and I'm going to put that, so let's see, I am going to do that so the You're Out of This World is down towards the bottom of that label, because I'm going to cut off the top part. Alright, so that is all of our stamping. I'm going to go ahead now and do some of my trimming with my scissors here. and I'm going to do all of those pieces that I cut out before. So I'm going to cut out this one, and for this one I'm cutting out the whole body of the rocket. If you're like me, I am terrible at paper piercing, so I always like to go around the edges of the images I cut and just use the black marker to make it look like I am a pro at cutting out all these little tiny pieces. It also helps hide that white core of your pattern paper or your cardstock if you have a white core cardstock. So that's what I just got done doing. I just did all of those pieces. I'm going to go ahead and now put together, before I start putting my card together, my rocket. So I'm going to use my 2-way glue pen, and I'm just going to start right at the top here and work my way down, and I have all of these little pieces cut out from the pattern paper that I did. So we'll just line those up. We're using the stamp that we stamped down onto our die cut as our guide. So in that stamp set comes these little stars, and I've just arranged them on a block, and I have a piece of black cardstock that's cut down to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 because we're going to do a 4 1/4 inch square card. And I'm using Whisper White. This is the Craft Stampin' Up! Ink, and I am going to create a little background on my black cardstock. So craft ink stays wet longer than a regular white ink, so I will have to heat set this when I'm done. And I'm just continually moving my stamp here into different directions so the pattern's not all the same everywhere you look. Okay, so I'm going to take my panel that I just got done drying and add some adhesive to the back. And that'll get layered onto the front of my card. And you can see right here, I was thinking that I wanted to stamp the fire or the flames coming out of the back of the rocket right onto the cardstock, but then I decided I didn't like that, so I went ahead and stuck with my original plan, which is taking the cutout piece that I did right here, so that's just going to go right onto there. So I'm going to take that same pattern paper that I used for my die cutting and put that right across the bottom of the front of my card. Just like that. And then I'll take my scissors and trim off the excess. And then I have my 2 border pieces that I cut out. And I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive to this. This will go right along that piece. And then I have my thinner one, which again I'll add adhesive to the back of this, just a little higher up so there's a little bit of a space in between. Oops. Alright, and then for the top of my card I have this You're Out of This World. So I'm just going to cut right along one of those little lines that are there, make it a little easier. And then we'll adhere this in the upper corner. Just like so. And then the last thing we have to do is put our rocket on. So I'll put adhesive. I'll use my two-way glue for that one. And since I already stamped out where I thought I was going to stamp it in white, I'll just use that as a guide for putting down my pattern piece. And then I will add, the last thing I want to do is add my rocket, which I will throw some dimensionals onto the back. And that will go right in the center of my card. So that is our card for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see everybody in next time. Bye!